The speaker's purpose is to clearly explain the meaning of the subject to the audience and use definitions, examples, anecdotes, illustrations, quotes from experts, and visual aids to explain concepts. So my evaluation will highlight some of these aspects of where you did well and where there is scope for improvement. I thought the start was brilliant because it was a very, very intriguing start. We rarely have a speaker who comes up to the speaking area and suddenly bows to the audience or goes on his knees. I was sitting at the back, so I was extremely curious of what you were going to do and what you did. I understand you had a prop and you placed it on the floor. It wasn't visible for me, but I assumed that there was one. And then you moved on to introducing the topic, which was food for the dead. How much of it is abstract? Well, you be the judge. Of course, the dead are very abstract, but the food is not. Yeah. And which is what you re-emphasize throughout your speech. I like the fact that you brought out how this concept prevails in some of the other cultures as well. Now, the fine line that you walked was when you started naming some of those cultures. And I'm sure somewhere in the middle of your speech you must have realized that you probably cannot cover all the cultures across the world. And that left a little gap in terms of our understanding of how other cultures look at and live with this concept. You shared anecdotes which were personal, which also gave us a glimpse of how this concept is practiced in your family. And I thought the one visual aid that you had could have been used a little more, or we could have added to the visual aids. Now, as far as understanding of the concept goes, I think it's fairly clear, at least to me, what you wanted to talk about, and that was how food is offered to the dead in multiple cultures. Now, this is where I think the biggest area of improvement lies, that a concept like this or a project like this needs to be scoped out well. For the benefit of the audience, I would have liked if you had identified and clarified what you're going to talk about when you say food for the dead. If you had suggested that you're going to take up this concept and educate the audience about how this concept prevails across different cultures, predominantly, let's say, in Asia, then that would have given you a scope, a ring-fence scope, and we could have concentrated on that. Would have been useful if you had dwelled into that particular scope with giving us examples and anecdotes from different cultures, different countries, and that would have enhanced your speech and our understanding. Some things are touchy in this part of the world, and I was a little hesitant, in fact a little distracted personally when you started naming some of those countries. Because yes, we live in a secular country here, but as part of Toastmasters, we try and steer away from some taboo topics. So be mindful of that, be mindful of the audience, and choose a topic which is more neutral. That would be my biggest suggestion to you. It has been a valiant attempt. It is your last project to complete your advanced communication bronze. For those of you who do not know, Dilip is going to leave the country, and in Dilip we shall lose a very hardworking, a very diligent, children's favorite Toastmaster of Dubai, a leader who has led by example, running multiple youth leadership programs, and the society will lose a very good, careful, and a caring individual in you. I wish you all the best for your journey ahead.